Today I'm doing one of my all-time favorite street-side Vietnamese dishes, my sugarcane prawn. Sugarcane prawn is a dish that is a prawn mousse that's ground up by hand usually and wrapped around sugarcane. Today I won't be doing it by hand, I'll be doing it in a food processor to save me a little bit of time. So first up, I'm going to pop some of these beautiful prawns, peeled and also deveined, into a food processor. Along with that, some garlic powder, some sugar to add a little bit of sweetness, some fish sauce for that umami flavour, and also to add a little bit of liquid that will help the binding. That adds a little bit of saltiness to the dish as well, but we still will be adding some salt and some black pepper. This dish is an all-time favourite of mine, and I always get it when I'm in Vietnam. It is usually cooked over coals, but today I'll be cooking it in a frying pan. Just shallow fry. Into that, I'm going to add a little bit of freshness and a little bit of sweetness in some spring onion. I'm only going to be using the white parts of the spring onions, just the ends. We're going to chop that up just to help the food processor along. Oh, one escaped, that's okay. I'll get him back. So all of this is going to go into my food processor here with the prawns and all the other beautiful ingredients. Let's whiz him up. All right, let's have a look at that. That's almost there, but what I am going to do, I'm going to just push the sides down a bit so that everything gets really well combined. You want it to be a paste-like consistency, a mousse. I'm guessing this dish comes from a French influence in Vietnam. A lot of our cooking techniques do come from French cooking techniques. Gorgeous. All right, let's have a look in here. Perfect. Definitely a mousse-like consistency now. I do like it to be a tiny bit chunky, and that is the exact texture that I want. All right, I'm gonna set him aside and get started on my sugarcane. If you don't know, this is what sugarcane looks like. Really beautiful, kind of like bamboo on the outside, really hard. We're gonna try and cut him up so he's got little pieces like this, which we're gonna fry. I've got one that's already halved. What I'm gonna do here, in Vietnam, I see ladies kind of just shaving it to get rid of that outer layer, that tough skin. So you want to get rid of this outer bit. Sugarcane can be found at most Asian supermarkets, or if you have an Asian cafe that serves sugarcane juice, they'll definitely have plenty of it. That's where I got mine from. Just ask them, they'll sell it to you. If not, it does come frozen as well in your Asian supermarket. Really, really easy to get. Really delicious, adds a lot of flavour to the dish. If not, you can grab some lemongrass, cut them to the same size, and wrap the prawn mixture around that instead. All right, with this, what I want to do is just cut him into thirds. 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rolling. So I've got a plate. I'm just gonna put a little bit of baking paper over him. We're about to get really messy here. I've seen people on the side of the street do this, and I assume it's to stop the prawn mixture from sticking to your hand. So I'm just gonna put my hand into some water. I'm just gonna grab one of these pieces of sugarcane. Nice little piece of this prawn mousse. I'm just gonna wrap it gently around. Nice thickness, because you do want to have a little bit of this prawn mousse. That's one done. Repeat until you're fully out of that prawn mixture. So I'm just going to check on the oil. That's definitely hot enough. Time for my sugarcane to go in. The oil is pretty hot, so I'm okay with putting all of them in if they fit, because I can bring the oil temperature down a little bit. So we're just gonna lay them in, like so. This will cook pretty fast. So just watch him, turn him if you need to. You want a nice golden outside and a light and bouncy inside. While that's cooking, I'm just gonna line this plate with some paper towel just to drain off the excess oil when they come out. Yum. So what I tend to do when I'm making this is I tend to roll my sugarcane constantly to help it cook evenly. If you don't have sugarcane, I would rather you not use a skewer. Instead, you can make them into little meatballs and fry them off that way. Or again, in that lemongrass, that'll be quite nice. As you can see, the mixture is so thick that putting it on a skewer will usually kind of defeat the purpose of it. So in Vietnam, this is cooked over coals, so you see these beautiful char marks on the outside. I have had them this way before as well in a restaurant. I think that was because there were no coals, but I quite like the flavour as well. It's a little bit sweeter and not as smoky. All right, this is looking fabulous. That can start to come out. So first one coming out, drain him off. Second one. So I'm going to set these guys aside, get started on my plating. So I've got a little platter here for them and some butter lettuce, which I am obsessed with. It's just so soft. So we're going to grab a couple of these guys, because usually what I would do is eat this, wrap it up, pull it out, have that sugar cane on to nibble on at the end. Gonna lay some herbs just in there. I've got a mixture of coriander and mint here. Vietnamese cooking is all about chock-a-blocking things full of herbs, aromats. We're gonna lay some of these guys down, but first, I will actually slice into one to see if it's cooked. Little chef's treat. Okay, the prawn's really sweet. That flavour definitely comes through first. And then you've got that pepper that hits you, and then the spring onion. Really delicious. Nice caramelisation on the outside. These guys can go onto here. We'll spoon a little bit of the spring onion oil that I've made it before ahead of time. Really easy. Just some spring onion, a little bit of salt in some grapeseed oil. Just makes everything glisten. So appetizing. A dusting of our shallots. A little bit of crushed peanuts, been roasted. Beautiful dish that you can find on the street of Vietnam, done at home. Give it a go for yourself. This is my sugarcane prawns.